Hey there. In this video, I'm going to discuss some tricks for Asian hair as well as some great products. Now, if you currently have, Asian men hair, thick, straight hair, chances are you've probably experimented with some products. And this video is going to help you find products that are not as not it doesn't get your hair as hard as gel does. A gel is very hard. When you sweat, it gets in your eyes. It starts to get that stuff. If you accidentally scratch a little bit, it starts to get that white stuff. Or if you start to use the really thick stuff, there's certain types of waxes, or there's it comes in like an orange can. I used to use that because my hair used to be so thick and I needed to really get it nice and slick and thick stuff. But that stuff is terrible for you because it's tough to get out in the shower. So this is going to be some ideas and tips and tricks that you can do so that you don't have to worry about trying to wash it out. This stuff that I'm sharing is going to be easy to wash out. It's going to help you do a nice hold in your hair, and you might lose some a little bit if you're sweating a lot, but it's not as bad as like hair gel or anything else. Because if you get hair gel in your eyelashes or eyebrows, it's gonna start getting sticky and it's gonna sting your eyes and stuff. So this other stuff is not as bad. And the reason why I say stuff, because it really could be any product in this category. I don't have a specific brand. Usually my strategy is to go to the store and just pick what looks good in this specific category of either like a molding clay, which is pretty popular, or any sort of a pomade, but something like a matte finish. So first of all, I mean, the hair gel, the hair products, I mean, it's only going to do so much, but the first step really is to get your hair wet. So if you've got medium, I would call this just under medium length hair, but short but medium. You got to make sure it's wet, and then you just dry it off a little bit, because that helps you make sure that your hair is moldable. Because if it's too dry, it just looks too messy. So you want your hair to be moldable. So you need to get a little bit wet, and then I mean, you could probably get away with either right after shower or just getting a little bit wet. I prefer to get it soaked and then just dry off a little bit, because basically, in order to mold your hair, you need it to be at least in the shape that you want it to be, for Asian hair specifically. So just take out some of the water. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about, like when your hair gets pretty crazy and wild. You know, so when your hair gets pretty crazy and wild, if you're not, if your hair is if your hair is Asian, it tends to either just fly all the way out, or it's uncontrollable when it's long, because it's so thick, so straight, that it kind of just goes where it wants to, right? So it's hard to find just the right product in order to make sure that your hair does what you want it to do for the day. So just real quick, one thing I like to do is right after I dry it off a little bit, you got to brush it however you want, or you could go with the messy look. It's really up to you how you want to do it. But this is more of a try to do like a more professional look, right? So just to brush the bristles here are not too thin. Like there's some really thin spaced bristles that start to make your hair look very thin, or the space. I like the thicker hair locks. So right here, I actually use these too. So molding clay, you could use basically anything, but I like the smell of these. This is American Crew. So American Crew molding clay. Here's what it looks like inside. It's a little bit thicker, but it comes off easy. And this is more of a textured paste. So the other one, so I use these together. This is more like a textured paste. The other one is kind of like a cream, I guess I would say. It's like a cream. Anyway, molding clay gets the basic job done. And as I mentioned, I tend to use a couple different ones. I'll go to the store and I don't stick with the same one every single time. I might try something new, but something that's like a paste or a clay, but also make sure that, it looks like it could be easy to wash off, not something super thick. If that's important, you can use something super thick if you think that, the thickness is going to be helpful. But ultimately, But ultimately, you know, you just want something that's going to at least help you hold it and like not get all that weird white stuff from hair gel, and it's not going to like just leave you sweating like crazy. Oh yeah, another thing you have to worry about is like in the hot sun. So if you're in a hot sun, if you live in a hotter place, then the heat, if you use like a wax or something, the heat can really start to melt the material, melt the wax or whatever, and it really just starts to like make your hair look all weird and crazy. So you want to avoid those types of things as well. But ultimately, I mean, you know, I get the look that I want with these products. I get to, you know, I do have to shower before I do it. And if you end up molding it with like if you end up like wearing a hat or something, it can change and it's like tough to get back. But like basically, I mean, with Asian hair, it's like if you get it into the way that you want exactly, if you figure that out, you really can't do anything to it until your next shower, because your hair just has like a mind of its own. My hair is pretty stubborn, but you know, if I can just get it right after right after shower, or like wetting my hair really nicely, and I just dry it off a little bit, that's really it, and it'll stay like this for pretty much the whole day. And then once I shower, it'll all come out pretty easily. Um, and with that, you've got some amazing ideas here. So just real recap, right? Make your hair wet, do a towel, use a brush, and with that, you got some great things. So molding clay, paste, anything like that, that could be very helpful. And of course, you know, happy hair days. I wish you the absolute best, and thanks for watching this video.